Welcome to the Miracles and Wellness Podcast. I'm Clarissa Booker, your holistic health coach and beauty expert. I know how stress can derail your well-being as an entrepreneur. I'll be sharing simple strategies to reduce stress, ditch stress eating, and replace other habits while energizing your day by incorporating more plants onto your plate. With small shifts that can boost your health, happiness, and productivity. Whether you're seeking guidance with weight loss, stress release, or just a moment to recharge, I invite you to join me. Let's optimize your wellness path. So be open to receive because I believe that miracles are for everyone. Let's go. Hey there, friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about dealing with negative emotions, whether they could be sadness, grief, or many more emotions that we could put in that same spectrum. So if you're going through a tough time, know that you are not alone. And these emotions are a natural part of life. And together we'll just discuss some simple strategies that you can process to help you move through them with a little bit more ease. All right. First, it's essential to acknowledge and recognize how you are feeling, whether it could be sadness or grief, or just dealing with whatever kind of negative emotion can be arising. Because sometimes society can encourage you just to be positive all the time, to just move on. And that is just not the way, all right? It's essential to acknowledge how you're feeling, what's truly going on. We don't want to just brush things under the table, sweep them under the rug, and just act like things are not happening. But to give yourself permission to feel these emotions without having judgment. You shouldn't feel any kind of way about how you feel. Allow yourself to process them and to release them, right? It's better to release the tension instead of just pushing them away, because at the end of the day, they're still going to be there. There's definitely might have been a time that you might have been going through something just like, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal if it's how you feel. Acknowledge them because it's still going to be there. Then sometimes that's when negative coping mechanisms might come into play. All right. Because you're trying to hide them, trying to suppress them, but they do not go away. They're still there, which is one of the reasons I talk quite a bit about mindfulness. It's a powerful tool that can help you sit with your emotions, right? Giving yourself that space to deal with whatever is going on inside, because you are definitely worth that. It can encourage you to observe and process those thoughts and feelings without trying to change them. Just seeing where you're at, right? You could even start with something as simple as taking a deep breath in and out. Just feeling the air, filling your lungs, and as you're slowly releasing them, just observing those emotions and sensations. It's okay to feel, even if you were taught that it's not okay to feel and that you have to be strong and that you have to press on. Allowing yourself that. Sometimes you don't realize why you do things in a certain way, why you have certain habits. There might be some programming in there that you might have to adjust. And part of that is first sitting in those feelings, in those thoughts. Allowing yourself to process whatever. Allowing yourself to become emotional and vulnerable. It's okay. And don't label them good or bad. They just are what they are. Just notice without judgment. And whenever those thoughts come up and you feel like you want to judge yourself, just come back in. Okay? Come back into your breath. Something as simple as your breath is very powerful. It could change so much, right? And it could help you come back to that sense of calmness. And there can be a distance there where you could observe yourself, observe your emotions, and just help you feel more grounded. Yes. Because these negative emotions that you might be feeling, right? While you're not feeling so good, you might be feeling some sadness or some grief. It's okay. You might try to journal them out. There's just some magic that can happen when you take pen to paper. You don't have to be an author, or it doesn't have to look neat. Just getting it out there. Drawing as well can be so therapeutic, or even something like coloring. Just tapping in, just finding someone to talk to, right? And just letting those emotions just breathe. It can feel so releasing because a lot of times we don't breathe. Sometimes we hold our breath a lot. So you might find that breathing might be harder for you. But it's okay. Just give yourself time to just release. You might even just feel that release. Okay? Just let it go. And even with self-care, it doesn't have to be something elaborate. It could be something as simple as going for a walk, getting some fresh air. You can even turn on some meditative beats when you're walking, breathing, doing a walking meditation, or even just sitting with some tea, just allowing your thoughts to process, being in the moment, being where you are now, not thinking too far ahead, not thinking in the past, just processing that, right? There can be comfort in self-care. Sometimes you might tell yourself that you cannot engage in self-care. There's this hustle culture, but I think more and more we are realizing that it's not about hustle culture, because that can have many effects on you. Sometimes you tell yourself, no, I have to do this. I have to reach this. But self-care is certainly important. Spending some time in nature, even just reading something comforting, listening to something inspiring, allowing yourself time to rest. Because feeling emotions that don't feel so good, right? Feeling some sadness and grief, it can be exhausting. Your body holds it all. It's very amazing, which is another reason yoga is so wonderful. Being able to move through those movements, letting it go, and also using your breath as you're going through it, because it can be exhausting. Sometimes you're like, why am I so tired? Why do I need to rest? Your body is holding it all in there, right? You ever notice that tensity that could be there? You might feel isolated. Because if you are carrying this weight, you might think that other people don't understand your particular views, how you feel. Reach out to somebody you trust, whether it's a friend, a family member, a support group. Sometimes it just helps to get it off your chest and just saying, hey, I'm having a tough time right now. I need someone to talk to. Something simple like those words can make a difference, right? Just feeling comfortable enough. And if you don't want to talk to somebody you know, talking to a neutral party like a counselor or the support group or a coach, right? And always knowing that you can take a break away from social outlets, TV, all of the things, because it can become very overwhelming because it's on repeat, right? Sometimes you gotta pause, right? You gotta fall back and be like, I'm just going to sit in silence. It can be so refreshing just to sit there and have nothing on. You have to do that. You have to take a break. Then at the end of the day, being kind to yourself, showing yourself compassion. Don't beat yourself up like, why didn't I do this? Or what could I have done differently? No. Sometimes we can be our harshest critics, wondering, why can't I get over this? This is just X, Y, and Z. Treat yourself as you would a loved one. Don't push yourself. Reminding yourself it's okay to slow down. As you're sitting in silence, you could take a moment to visualize your emotions to help you feel more centered, to help you make you feel better. You can close your eyes, taking those deep breaths. That's something you always have with you, is the power of your breath. Imagining a soft, warm light feeling a sense of calm. You can picture the light moving through your body. You can start at your feet as the light scans your body, feeling your vibration rise, allowing that emotions to flow through, to process, noticing any tight areas, just breathing love and light into them. Just imagine letting go. You can see it floating away into fluffy white clouds, however it feels good. Your emotions are real and they are valid, and they don't define you. You could tell yourself that you are safe in this moment. It doesn't always feel easy to think about positive things during tough times. But you could reflect on your values and the things that you deeply care about and finding appreciation for the good moments. Still giving gratitude for what you do have and having trust, strength that things will prevail for you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference as I can move through that which I am feeling at this time. It can feel overwhelming to deal with certain emotions that do not feel good. But remember, they're just emotions. It's a part of our experience, and it is okay to feel them without judgment. Use whatever tools speak to you the most. Healing is not always linear, just like nothing else in life. Just allowing each moment to process, giving yourself patience, compassion, grace to move through the process and to move forward one day at a time, and that you are not alone. Making sure to always take care of yourself and to reach out for support, always in love. Until next time.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast. Leave a 5-star review.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and are feeling empowered in your journey towards a thriving well-being. Also, share this episode to someone you know this will bless, as that's how we spread the message. And don't forget just to take 30 seconds to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts by scrolling down the show page and clicking write a review, because it also helps us grow. I appreciate you taking the time to show us support.